Australia's banking industry thrives on bonuses and commissions paid to staff but hidden from customers. Tonight, bank workers are breaking their silence about an aggressive sales culture they say rewards bad behaviour with potentially devastating consequences for consumers. The big banks have promised to get rid of bonuses that are proven to drive bad outcomes as part of an industry review of bank staff pay, but consumer groups are sceptical, as Pat McGrath reports.
In the fast money world of Australia's big four banks, there's never been so much pressure on staff to sell, sell, sell.
I cringe when I hear the name Commonwealth Bank. Working there changed me as a person to become quite bitter, have shown no empathy, just a horrible person to be around. I didn't like who I was.
Hayley Johnson quit in disgust in March, 6 years after she started her job at a Commonwealth Bank call centre in Newcastle.
I thought it was just a basic role in customer service, on the phones, taking inbound calls.
But she quickly discovered that her job was all about sales and her pay was tied to how many new accounts, credit cards, loans and insurance products she could push.
We had to quickly go through and see what other direct debits I had with other financial institutions to bring over their credit cards and personal loans, to have all their banking under one roof, and also when they were ringing up for balances and very simple inquiries, try and sell them a home loan.
Hayley says how the bonuses were calculated changed every year, but some years she earned an extra $10,000 on her base salary. But to make that money, she was told to target customers she knew shouldn't be loading up on debt.
They would train us in our coaching and our team meetings for sales techniques as to what's coming up, as in, school's going back, or Christmas is coming up. What plans do you have for Christmas? How are you going to afford to buy, the groceries and the children's presents and stuff? Did you know we have this special offer on our credit cards? Have you considered that? If they were poor, it didn't matter. As long as I had that pension as an income, that's it. Let's go.
Hayley Johnson has left banking and is now a beauty therapist. She's speaking out because she wants customers to know how the banks really operate.
It was tough doing that to people. It felt wrong. It felt like I was doing the wrong thing. I shouldn't be doing it. That I shouldn't be putting other people in debt when they didn't need it. But at the end of the day, you sort of trained yourself to think that you don't have to see these people again. It doesn't matter what they think. You're going to get your bonus, and that's all that was important. And I hate that mentality. It's disgusting.
Your bank has a program that incentivises through remuneration structures for staff to sell those products to customers, don't they?
Not directly, no.
The CEOs of Australia's big four banks defended the use of these sorts of sales tactics at a parliamentary hearing in October.
You've got a target that they have to meet each week of trying to push one home loan, one Wealth Plus credit card, insurance, personal loan. How is that in the consumer's best interest?
Well, it depends on how it's done. The goal isn't to be selling, it is to be listening to clients, and where we see opportunities to refer them to a specialist.
Right now, it's really hard to know how staff behaviour drives poor customer outcomes. It's in a black box. Banks have hidden all information about how they pay frontline staff and their KPIs.
Consumer rights groups are pushing the banks to come clean on what bonuses they pay their staff and how the bonuses really work.
If the banks pay their frontline staff to sell products, those staff members are going to prioritise selling products over customer care. And banking products, they're not like Tupperware or blenders. Getting a wrong product has deep financial impacts on someone's lives.
The hard sell isn't just over the phone, it's face-to-face as well. And as a teller for 28 years, Gabby Erminagildi was on the front line.
What portion of customers would you have to try to sell things to?
Every customer. Every customer, irrespective of whether you served that same customer last week. And being in a small little local branch, it's the customers are the same customers. Every day of the week you get the same customers. So what are you going to sell them? Hey, you can't sell an 80-year-old lady a home loan, you know, or you can't sell her a credit card because she won't be, you know, she won't qualify for it.
Gabby Eminagildi believes she was pushed out of the National Australia Bank in June because her sales figures were falling. She filed an unfair dismissal claim, and the bank has agreed to call it a resignation. You're looking at all these customers in the queue, you know, and you feel sorry for them because they come into the bank to do what they need to do. And then, I mean, I used to just say, no, I'm not selling nothing, I'm just going to get rid of this queue and, you know, make them happy. I'm sure if they want something, they'll tell me.
We see and hear from our members every day that relentless pressure that is placed on them to sell a financial product to a customer who doesn't need it. It's stress, it's pressure, it's bullying, it's that constant fear of going to work because I haven't met my sales target. It's that constant kind of naming and shaming where many of the banks use public ways to try and drive those outcomes. In some banks they have whiteboards where you're ranked in terms of your achievement of reaching those sales targets. That drives bad culture.
The Australian Bankers Association is in the middle of a review of pressure selling by bank staff. It's part of a range of self-regulation measures the industry announced in April when it was in the midst of fighting off a push for a Royal Commission by Labor. Yet the Bankers Association, the Commonwealth Bank and NAB refused to do an interview with us. We wanted to ask them about the knock-on effect of this kind of pressure selling, that more and more Australians are loading up on debt they can't afford.
We need banks to be transparent about this in order to figure out the impact on customers. But I think it's highly likely that these sales targets are leading to really poor customer outcomes. For example, the really high credit card debt that Australians are holding.
In statements to 7:30, the Commonwealth Bank and NAB say they support the review of bonuses and commissions. Hayley Johnston wants the banks to change how they behave. The first step, she believes, is for them to be more honest with their customers.
One of my customers actually turned around to me one day on a phone and said, "Is that the company you want to work for?" And I think that was my aha moment or Oprah moment that made me think, you know what, I don't. If they can't support their staff and they just want to work on all sales and targets and keeping their shareholders happy, why would I want to work for them?